What's up, y'all? Welcome to Daft Previews. Shooting live ain't good. My name's Dan, and we're now 2 days in a row in the profit, and I've got another 5 plays to share with you all. If that sounds interesting, let's get into it.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
We've got an 11-game slate coming up. So doing a live stream tonight just to get this all out quicker to you. But it also gives me time to do a dive into some picks for tomorrow. Normally we do this with T, but T's out working at the moment. But if you are interested in T's plays, he had a profitable day today, you can jump into his Telegram. The link is in the description box below. I'll probably have 10 to 15 plays for tomorrow. If you're interested in seeing that, jump into our Discord, completely free, and everything I get on is shared on there. So, quick recap on yesterday's video. We did hit 2 winners, 2 units on each of those. Embiid over 4.5 assists. It was a slow start, and he finished on 6. We had Nurkic for over 8.5 rebounds, and we knew that was coming home after he had 7 rebounds in the first quarter. Looking at our same-game multis, Tobias Harris, man, he was looking good. 20 points. He covered his rebound line, but he was stuck on 2 assists for a long time, and he finished that way. So we take a loss there, but because of our unit strategy, we still finish the day in profits. Looking at the season, we're hitting our props at 66.6%. We're 4-2. We're 2.7 units in the positive. For same-game multis, we've only hit the 2. We've missed out on 3, 40%, but still 3.3 units profit. So on these videos alone, we are up 6.03 units this season, and we're looking to add to that tonight. So I'm bringing you 5 different plays. They are all from me. So let's see how we go. So the very first 3 actually all come in the same game. But the first man that I'm looking at tonight is Zubac from the LA Clippers. Now, I'm looking at him as a same-game multi to go 11-9-1. And if you look on Bet365, you're basically going over. I think the odds are around $6, but let me spin it to you. So actually, they're a lot higher. They're $7.50. So he's achieved 11-9-1 in 23 of 82 games last season. Now, that's a 28% hit rate. With that type of hit rate, implied odds, you're looking at about $3.50. So to be able to get this at $7.50, it's value. At $7.50, you are absolutely laughing. That's an implied probability of 13%. So we're seeing value in playing Zubac. In 4 games against the Jazz last season, he actually covered this exact line in 3 out of 4 games. So we're loving Zubac. If the same game multi doesn't tickle your jiggle, take his points line. Over 10.5 points. He put up 20 points on 10 shot attempts in the first game of the season. I'm not expecting that type of efficiency, but he can cover this line even if he shoots 50%, provided he's taking 10. If you have a look at the game, in game 1, Westbrook is doing what he does best. He's feeding the big man. Now, Zubac, he only attempted 10 shots in that game, but out of his 10 shots, 6 of those came off passes from Westbrook. 2 of those were from Paul George, and 2 of those were tip-ins. Now, Paul George and Russell Westbrook, the way they found Zubac, very similar actions. They're either pick and roll, or he was flashing to the high post and popping some nice little jump hooks. So we're loving Zubac here today. If you're looking against his performance against Utah, 4 straight games he's covered this points line, averaging 13.3 points per game. So I wouldn't ladder that any higher. I'll just take the 10.5 points for Zubac. If you're looking at the defensive side of things, the Jazz, they were up against the Kings in their last game. Both Sabonis and JaVale McGee, they scored a lot more than expected, and a lot of that was done in the paint. The pace in the Jazz and Kings game was fast as hell. We got a projected total of 229 tonight, so I'm expecting more of the same here. So let's go Zubac. Now, my next play, we're looking at Jordan Clarkson over 17.5 points. So he covered this line in 47 of 61 games last season, which is a 77% hit rate. Now, on the road, they're on the road to LA, I believe. For most players on the road, you tend to see a drop in their performance, but not Jordan Clarkson. For him, it gets even better. He played 28 road games last season. He hit this line in 23 of them. That is an 82% hit rate. We're seeing odds close to $1.90 for Jordan Clarkson to cover this, but with an implied 80% chance of hitting this, his odds should be around $1.25 to $1.30. He had a strong outing in their opening game. He scored 24 points on 16 shot attempts. Last season, he averaged 17 shot attempts per game, so it appears his usage rate isn't too different. I also think we'll see more Clarkson matched up with Westbrook for the majority of the game. He will see some time with Paul George defending him. They are great defenders if you look at their career, but they're nowhere near their best defensively at this point in their careers. So taking Jordan Clarkson over 17.5 points. If you're looking at his three-point line, for him to make 3, 4, and 5, pretty juiced. I've got a little bit of a play on him to get 5 threes. The odds are excellent for that. But not an official pick for this video. And my very last play, we're looking at Ben Simmons over 6.5 points. So I do love this spot for Ben Simmons. Go Australia. The Dallas Mavericks, they still have the same DNA as last season, which means they're not going to offer any resistance at all on the defensive end of the floor. The Spurs were driving to the rim at will, and I can see Simmons getting some easy ones in this game. In the opening game against Cleveland, Ben Simmons only attempted 6 shots. All of those were near the ring. I think you would have assumed that. The 2 shots that he did make, where he did score, one of those was a backdoor cut. He got the lob, dunked that shit down. And the other was in a pick and roll in the 4th quarter. So easy layup there. For the Brooklyn Nets, they are missing Nick Claxton in this game. So I see Ben Simmons playing a bit more time when they go small ball. He'll be playing the 5-man. Bit of pick and roll action. Hopefully he's rolling to the ring and dunking on somebody. The 4 shots he did miss, though. So those are important things that you need to look at. 2 of those were layups and 2 of those were hook shots. Unfortunately for Ben Simmons, Evan Mobley was out there patrolling the paint on these shots. But at the same time, the Mavs don't offer the same level of rim protection. So I'm taking Ben Simmons over 6.5 points in this one. But if you want to get jiggy with it, I actually think Ben Simmons goes over points, over rebounds, over assists as well. So that's another same game that I'm looking at the moment. I've also got a very small play on him to get 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Juiced up odds on Bet365, of course. First live stream of the year. I apologize if I absolutely butchered it, but I had to get these out to you as soon as possible. If you do like what we are doing over here, please like this video. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe to the channel, of course. We're trying to drop something every single day. Here's just a perfect example of that. No editing, first take, raw, terrible, I assume. But look, whether my presentation of this was excellent or not, the picks were still going to be the same. So if you do tail, good luck to you. If you do want to see more of those, jump into our Discord. The link is there. T's just put his plays up right now. So if you're interested in seeing what T's doing, you can jump into his Telegram channel. But I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate y'all for watching.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.